In a cozy village bordering the woods, a boy with messy brown hair named Kirin sat on the grass in front of his grandmother's cottage. His face was filled with worry, his small hands frantically searching his pockets. No, it has to be here. Grandma's locket. He looked towards the dense forest line ahead, the very forest the elders warned was filled with magic and mysteries, the Whispering Woods. A cool breeze swept by, almost like a whisper, calling him to search for that precious item. Kirin swallowed hard, his mind made up. He stood, dusted off his pants, and took his first step into an unexpected adventure. As Kirin ventured deeper into the woods, the sunlight began to fade, replaced by an emerald green glow from magical moss and mushrooms. The trees here were enormous and twisted in impossible shapes. Suddenly, a nearby bush shook violently. Kirin flinched, almost bolting in fear. But what leapt out wasn't a monster, but a small fox whose fur was made of rainbow-colored crystal shards. It shook its body once, and its crystalline fur made a delightful chiming sound. "Hey, watch where you're going," the fox exclaimed. Kirin's jaw dropped. You can talk?" The crystal fox looked annoyed. "Of course I can talk. The name's Flick. And what are you, a human child, doing in my forest?" After hearing about the locket, Flick decided, rather reluctantly, to guide Kirin. They journeyed until they reached the bank of a rushing river, its water glowing with a clear blue light. Before them lay two paths. The first was a sturdy-looking root bridge, bathed in soft sunlight, appearing safe and inviting. The other was a series of precarious floating stones, leading to a darker, more intimidating side of the bank. Flix stopped and said, "All right, adventurer, the bright and shiny path or the dark and spooky one? Which will it be?" Kirin looked at the safe-looking root bridge, but then he noticed something. There wasn't a single animal track on it. It seemed too easy. Internal monologue. "This is strange. Why has no one used this path?"
"I'll take the floating stones," Kirin said firmly. Flick shrugged. "Your call." The moment Kirin's foot touched the first stone, the sturdy-looking root bridge dissolved into a mass of snapping thorn snapper vines. They lashed out aggressively into the empty air. Kirin's face went pale with shock. Flick added, "First lesson of this forest, never trust anything that looks too easy." Kirin nodded, composed himself, and began to carefully hop across the slippery, wobbling stones, with Flick expertly leading the way.
The other side of the river was a darker, colder part of the forest. The air was thick with an unsettling silence. Suddenly, a deep growl echoed from the shadows. A creature as large as a bear stepped out. It was the Gloomfang. Its body was made of solid black smoke with blazing red eyes and sharp fangs carved from obsidian. It fixed its gaze upon them. Flick's fur bristled. "This is bad! That's the guardian of this territory! We have to run!" The Gloomfang let out a deafening roar and charged.
Kirin and Flick ran for their lives, the Gloomfang's heavy footsteps right behind them. "This way!" Flick shouted, diving into a hollow in a massive ancient tree. They hid inside, peeking through a small crack. The monster sniffed around outside, roaring in frustration at having lost its prey. Just as Kirin was losing hope,
A soft, silvery light flashed on the other side of the clearing. The light coalesced into the figure of a girl dressed in glowing leaves and flowers. She was Lyra, a forest sprite. She raised a hand and blew a puff of magical pollen at the beast. The Gloomfang let out a huge sneeze, then calmed down and lumbered back into the shadows in confusion. Lyra smiled at Keerin through the hollow. "You can come out now. You're safe."
Lyra greeted Kirin and Flick warmly. She claimed she saw the locket lying near the Heartstone at the center of the forest and offered to guide them. "Perhaps you dropped it while playing near here a long time ago," she said with a smile. Kirin felt grateful and trusted her completely. Only Flick continued to watch Lyra with a suspicious gaze. Forest sprites rarely concern themselves with human things. This is very strange. Along the way, Lyra performed small feats of magic, making flowers bloom and effortlessly guiding them through thorny bushes, which only made Kirin trust her more. Finally, the trio arrived at the heart of the forest. A massive stone hovered above the ground. It was the Heartstone, the source of all the forest's magic. But its condition was heartbreaking. A dark, black crack spread across it like a spider web, emitting a dull gray energy that caused the surrounding plants to wither. And on a pedestal beneath the Heartstone lay his grandmother's locket. Kirin was about to run and grab it, but Flick leaped in his way. "Wait, look!" Flick pointed at the locket. It was emitting a soft golden glow, and that light was slowly fighting against the black crack on the stone.
"What's happening?" Kirin asked, his voice trembling. Lyra stepped forward, her face full of sorrow. "I'm sorry. I didn't lie about finding it, but I was the one who brought it here," she confessed. "The Heartstone is sick, corrupted by a darkness creeping in from the outside world. I sensed the pure energy in your locket, the power of your grandmother's memories and love. It's the only thing that can slow the darkness." Kirin looked at Lyra, at Flick, and then at the locket. He understood everything. His grandmother didn't lose it. She left it at the edge of the woods intentionally, so the forest could call for the right person, him. Internal monologue. This wasn't about finding something lost. It was about making a delivery. Kirin made his choice. He walked to the pedestal, but instead of taking the locket, he placed his hand gently upon it, channeling his intent. "I give it to you to heal this forest." As he spoke, the locket erupted in brilliant light. The golden light exploded from the locket, surging into the cracks of the Heartstone. A screech of darkness was heard before it vanished. The cracks slowly sealed, and the dull gray light was replaced by a warm, vibrant green glow. The withered plants returned to life. As the light faded, the locket dissolved into golden motes of light, completely absorbed by the stone. Its purpose was fulfilled. Lyra smiled through tears. "Thank you, Keerin." Flick came and rubbed against Kirin's leg. "Not bad, human kid." Suddenly, a single root grew from the ground before Kirin, carving itself into a new locket made of glowing wood, with a leaf engraved on its face. "The forest gives you a gift," Lyra said, "as a mark of your friendship and courage." Kirin took the new locket, feeling the warmth of the entire forest within it.
Kirin returned to the village with the Locket of the Wilds. He had learned that the greatest adventure was not about bringing back a priceless treasure, but about learning to sacrifice for something greater.
And true courage was not measured by fighting fearsome beasts, but by making the right decision, even when it was the hardest one to make. As Keerin looked at the back of his hand, a faint glowing leaf symbol briefly appeared, the same symbol as on the locket. It signified that his bond with the forest remained, and the enchanted forest might need his help again in the future.